Welcome to the first Game Galaxy Halloween special. Today I'm going to be talking about two games, one being an old game and one being a new game. For the first game, we're going to go all the way back to 1990 to talk about the horror adventure DOS game, Hugo's House of Horrors. This game was released as shareware and created solely by one man named David Gray. Creating an entire game by yourself, even an older title, is very impressive and it takes a lot of work. At first glance, this looks and plays very similar to early Sierra adventure games such as King's Quest and Leisure Suit Larry. Now the story is not that deep or original, but you play as Hugo, who is in search of his girlfriend, who has since gone missing since babysitting at this haunted, creepy house. So what you find out is that she's being held captive by a mad scientist. Now wait a minute, that sounds awfully familiar, right? Missing, kidnapped girlfriend, crazy house, mad scientist. Sounds a lot like Maniac Mansion, right? Let's see, the 1987 groundbreaking adventure game by Lucasfilm Games, Maniac Mansion, the one where you're trying to find the main character's kidnapped girlfriend in a crazy house by a mad scientist? Now, David Gray has claimed that he did not know of Maniac Mansion during his time of creating Hugo's House of Horrors, and to this day has not played it, so that he can truthfully say that. However, I don't believe that in the slightest. I'm sorry, dude. Maniac Mansion was such a well-known and groundbreaking adventure game that you either played it or you watched someone play it. And case in point, take the original opening here of Hugo's House of Horrors. When you walk up to the door, you find that it's locked. So what do? Look inside this pumpkin here, and guess what? A key for the door. It opens. Well, now let's take a look at Maniac Mansion. You walk up to the door. It's locked. Look underneath the doormat. Look at that. What do you know? A key to open the door. So, he can say coincidence all you want, but that little bit with the key just, I don't know. I can't believe it. I don't care what anybody says. I will never believe it. You played Maniac Mansion. You liked Maniac Mansion. And you just wanted to borrow some ideas for it. That's okay. Again, I'm not ragging on him. I can't believe that story. You can see that you have to type in your commands on what you want to do, and this varies from the verb point-and-click style set by Lucasfilm Games. Once you get into the house, you're given very little direction, and a lot of figuring out what to do is done by trial and error. Typing in look will usually help describe a scene better. In the same vein of many Sierra adventures, Hugo can die from quite a number of things. For example, if you enter into this dinner party without wearing a mask, the butler recognizes you aren't an official guest. He will walk up to you and ask you if you want a chop. And if you're not wearing a mask, he will chop your head clean off. Alternatively, if you are wearing the mask, he will give you a pork chop. So wear the mask. Always wear the mask. There's a killer dog, bats, and even a mummy. And seriously, if you're gonna ever check this game out, make sure you save a lot. I had played this game a lot back in the day, so I can finish it rather quickly because I remember everything I have to do, so it's a very, very short game. However, it's that trial and error and crazy nonsensical logic of old adventure games that will increase playtime. The most annoying thing is this part with the mummy. He is coded to seek the player and moves twice as fast as you, so you can't outrun him. If he catches you, it's game over, so you sort of have to catch him on this rock and lead him around the rock where he gets stuck, since he's always trying to seek you. It's a frustrating and annoying part of the game in my opinion. Ultimately, you go through ridiculous tasks, including answering trivia questions with an old man, all to rescue your beloved Penelope. I wish Hugo just had a gun or something. Wait a minute, he does get a gun! In 1994's Nitemare 3D. David Gray created Nitemare 3D, and this is a reimagining of Hugo's House of Horrors as a first-person shooter, and man, this game has a soft spot in my heart. It obviously pulls its visual and gameplay style from Wolfenstein 3D or Ken's Labyrinth if anyone remembers that awesome game from the legendary Ken Silverman. In fact, it really feels more like Ken's Labyrinth more than anything, and like I said, I have a soft spot in my heart for this game, and I think it will be on my playlist for games I'll be playing tonight for Halloween. Hugo's House of Horrors is the first of a trilogy of adventure games by David Gray, and maybe I'll talk about those in the future. And if I remember correctly, I feel like the second one was my favorite one. But for those of you looking for a more modern game to play on Halloween tonight, If you have a PlayStation 4, I cannot recommend Until Dawn enough. I finished this about 2 weeks ago, and man, this is awesome. If you've been watching Game Galaxy for a while now, you know that I love cinematic, interactive video games, and where film and games come together and that, cohesive fusion-esque experience, and this game is just awesome. I'm pretty sure most of you have heard something about this game, whether it's here on YouTube or you watched Markiplier play through it or you've seen a review. But if you're the slightest bit interested in checking this game out for yourself, please take my advice and just stay off of the reviews, stay off of the videos on it, and just don't look at any of it until you finish the game the first time, because there's a lot of little twists that just can get spoiled really easily by looking that stuff up, if it hasn't already been spoiled for you already, because the internet loves to do that. But yeah, this game puts you in the middle of a teen slasher film. The initial setup puts you into a snowy Canadian lodge, where quickly things take a turn for the worse as you're being stalked by a killer. The gameplay makes use of split-second decision-making and QTE sequences that really drive the narrative forward. Any character can die at any time, so every decision you make will affect your fate. This is really cool, but also really frustrating when you make a wrong decision, because we're so used to getting another go when it comes to video games. My first playthrough resulted in only 3 characters surviving. This game must be played with the lights off and on a good sound system. There are tons and maybe a little too many jump scares.
Ah! Whoa! Christ! Scared the glue out of my jeans. What the hell is that doing in there anyway?
But there's this one scare in particular that had me and my wife just yell out and scream, and just gave me the chills, man. Even thinking about it right now just gave me a chill down my spine. As you progress, you realize things are not as black and white as they seem, and this will turn into a vicious struggle for survival, and you'll understand why it's called Until Dawn. If you own a PlayStation 4 and you were on the fence on whether or not to get Until Dawn, I recommend just go pick it up and grab a friend if they're available and play this Halloween night. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be playing a lot of different games. Nitemare 3D is going to be one of them, and eating a lot of Snickers bar, because that's my favorite candy bar. Let me know what is your favorite candy and what games you're going to be playing tonight. As always, take care.